Oh, what? I just got a notification from my bank. My gym membership was charged again. What about it? Well, it's for my old gym. Your old gym? Yes, the one I went to before I moved. But you moved 3 years ago. Yeah. Wait. Are you telling me you've been paying for a gym you haven't gone to in 3 years? I know it's bad, but every time I forget to cancel it. Another example of the ADHD tax. ADHD what? The ADHD tax. That's what we call the financial cost of living with ADHD in the community. You mean that ADHD has a financial cost? Yeah, and a big one actually. Forgetting to cancel my old gym membership is just one example of how the ADHD tax shows up in everyday life. Take forgetfulness, for example. One of the most common symptoms of ADHD. Well, when you forget things, it usually comes with a cost. Like, you forgot to pack socks for your trip to the countryside? You have to buy some when you get there. You forgot to cancel the free trial subscription to a streaming platform you never use? Maybe you've been paying it for a year without even noticing. You forgot your dentist appointment because you were hyper-focusing on how whales can chat using echolocation and vocalization from miles apart? Now you have to apologize to your dentist, reschedule your appointment, and pay for both. You left your phone in the back of a cab. Now you have to pay for a new one. Or go retro with your old Motorola Razr and call it a digital detox. Whoa, I can see how things can add up when you forget literally everything. It never stops. Just the other day, I ordered a ton of clothes online and now I only have 2 days left to send most of them back because they don't fit me. I don't know if I'll make it in time. Wait, why did you order so much when you know you struggle to return things? Well, that's another money problem for people with ADHD. We can be impulse buyers. Remember how ADHD affects the control center of our brain? Yeah, the executive functions, right? You told me about it. Exactly. Executive functions are responsible for many things, including impulse control. And when they don't work well, it's hard to resist the impulse to add cute stuff to your cart. Especially when you're on your phone late at night watching a TV show and snacking on something crunchy and salty. Oh god, that's really relatable. The thing is, ADHD brains tend to have less access to dopamine, the reward chemical in our brain, so we crave it. And shopping, looking at cool things to buy and putting them in our cart, give us a dopamine hit. Anticipating that these things will soon be ours feels exciting and rewarding, especially when you know they will arrive super quickly. The overall online shopping experience is designed for instant gratification, something ADHD brains are very fond of. Is that why you bought all that yarn the other day? That's because I wanted to learn how to crochet. When it comes to buying supplies for a new hobby, ADHD impulse buying hits another level. Why? Because it's not just the buying that feels good, it's the idea of the new hobby itself. You're convinced this will be the one, the hobby that finally sticks, the one that will make your life feel fulfilled. Was it? No, not really. So people with ADHD forget stuff and can be impulsive shoppers. That's the ADHD tax? Oh, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Really? Yeah, things get more serious when you look at how ADHD affects planning, organization, and anticipation. Take the other day. I had to throw away a bunch of overpriced cherries I bought at a fancy organic grocery store. Why? I was planning to make my very own cherry jam, but every time I thought about it, something got in the way. First, I forgot to buy sugar. Then, I remembered I needed to sterilize the jar. Anyways, time passed and the cherry went bad. Because you struggled to stay organized? Yes. And that's just one example. Failing to anticipate things can cost people with ADHD a lot of money, like having to buy plane tickets at the last minute because you didn't plan ahead, or forgetting regular maintenance for your home appliances. I can't tell you how many times I've had to replace dishwashers because I forgot the upkeep. My brain files maintenance task under deal with later and then never opens that folder again. Dishwashers? Whoa, that That must cost a lot. Yeah, and it's the same for every car I ever owned. Once you start paying for things like that, it weighs on your budget. That's how you can end up living paycheck to paycheck and avoiding your bank account like the plague. Seeing all that money drain away, subscription you forgot to cancel, late fees, penalties, it triggers a lot of shame and guilt, and if you're already struggling, it can feel very overwhelming. For some people, it's the start of a vicious cycle of avoidance. You feel stressed about money, so you spend money to feel that dopamine boost. Then you feel guilty about it, so you avoid your finances altogether. Before I was diagnosed with ADHD at 29, these struggles were even worse because I judged myself very harshly for them. I didn't understand how ADHD symptoms were impacting my life, and I had no idea where to start. That's why I created my ADHD pre-diagnosis workbook to help others who might feel the same way. It walks you through 25 official and unofficial symptoms of ADHD with real-life examples of how they might show up. It also helps you recognize masking and compensating behaviors, things we often do without even realizing, just to fit in. That sounds really helpful. Where can people find it? There's a link in the description below. If you ever wondered, could I have ADHD? This workbook could be a great first step. Once I understood where these challenges came from, things became a bit easier. So you managed to break that cycle? Yeah, or at least I'm working on it. It's hard, but it's not impossible. Whatever your situation, you can take back control. First, you need to address your feelings. Shame and guilt are often what keep us stuck. Let me make something very clear. You are not a bad person because you struggle to manage money. You don't have to feel ashamed because you forgot to cancel a subscription or fell into impulsive online shopping. What matters is finding ways to learn from these experiences and discover strategies that work for you. If you work with your brain, you can implement things that make money management easier, like disconnecting instant checkout option on your phone, setting up automatic payments for important bills, or organizing a cancel date with friends every month where you all cancel unnecessary subscriptions together. You are not doomed. Maybe you'll always have to buy new socks when you travel. But for the serious financial stuff, you can find solutions to stay in control. Once you're on top of the big things, the small stuff won't feel so bad. In many countries, volunteers offer free assistance to help people with low to moderate incomes file taxes or balance their budget. And if you can afford it, hiring an accountant can be a game changer. It might cost money upfront, but it can save you a lot in the long run. Financial anxiety is real, especially during tough times like inflation. It's normal to feel stressed about money. But if you find yourself constantly worrying about your financial situation, talking to a mental health professional could help. I didn't know the ADHD tax was a thing. Thank you so much for explaining it to me. No worries. ADHD can make money management tricky, but it doesn't have to keep us stuck. With small steps, a little creativity, and the right support, we can take control of our finances and feel confident moving forward. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more content about ADHD.